Today we are looking at Kevin De Bruyne and his 91 rated card in Ultimate Team. De Bruyne is always my go-to centre mid in my Ultimate Team, and this year is no different. He maintains that 91 rating and he's one of only 4 91 rated players in the game this year. There is absolutely nothing he can't do on the pitch, and he's always a game-changing player in Ultimate Team. So today we are going to look over De Bruyne's card and his gameplay in FC24, and I'm going to let you know if it's worth having him in your team this year or not. So De Bruyne will line up for me as my left centre mid in my 4-4-2 next to Martin Odegaard. Odegaard is brilliant in the game, and if you're looking for a midfielder, make sure to check out my Odegaard review. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. So before we get into De Bruyne's gameplay, let's have a quick look over his card and his stats. So he is of course right-footed, standing at 5'11" tall. He's set up with high attacking and medium defensive work rates with a 4-star skill moves and a 5-star weak foot. The 5-star weak foot should come in very handy in game. One thing that did put me off a little bit was the fact that the card that I bought had 16 different owners and he'd only managed 57 goals and 66 assists in 250 games. That doesn't look too promising to me, and I wonder what these people were doing. I've got De Bruyne in my team as a centre mid, but he can also play as a centre attacking mid if you're using a different formation. I've gone ahead and put the Hunter on him and given him a little pace and shooting boost. When I bought this card, he for some very strange reason had the backbone chemistry style on him. I'm not sure what that's all about, if I'm being honest. Looking at his stats then, and he has got full chem on that Hunter chemistry style, so we do get a very helpful boost on his pace and his shooting stats. His pace is pretty average at 72, which is fine for a centre mid, but we do get to boost that up to 80 with the chemistry style. Shooting on the other hand looks fantastic at 88 overall, and with every stat boosted here in the 90s. The main ones for me here being the attacking positioning at 92, 93 finishing and 96 shot power. His passing, as you'd expect, is looking very good at 94, with a 95 on vision and crossing and 94 on both short and long passes. His dribbling is also looking pretty good at 87 overall. His reactions and ball control look great at 92, and composure is very nice up there at 88. The one thing that really lets him down here is his low agility at 74 and low balance at 78. His physical rating looks okay overall, with strength and aggression holding him back a bit here as well. And moving on to De Bruyne's playstyles, and he has got 6 playstyles on this card. The first one is the dead ball underscoring, which means that he'll take faster and more accurate free kicks and corners, and the ball trajectory line is longer, which will definitely help with getting your free kicks on target. The next playstyle is incisive pass plus, and that just means that his through balls are much more accurate. His swerve passes travel with more curve, and his precision passes will travel at top speed to the receiver. Next is the pinged pass, and this means that his ground passes will be faster and it won't be any harder for the receiver to control the ball. Long ball passes up next, and that just means that his high through balls are much more accurate, they'll be faster and they'll be much harder to intercept. The final passing playstyle is the whip pass, and this means that all of his crosses will be more accurate, faster and more curved. His final playstyle is Trivela under physical, and that just means he's able to pass and shoot with the outside of his foot when it's right to do so. So De Bruyne is looking like an absolute beast overall, especially with those passing stats and those playstyles that he's got. So let's take him into the game and see how he does. So with De Bruyne being a centre mid, I'm going to start this review off by looking at his control, his passing and receiving ability. De Bruyne has a beautiful first touch. He will control almost any type of pass you give him, and he has got the ability to make something happen with his first touch without slowing down your build up. He very rarely makes any mistakes when he's receiving the ball, making him so easy to play with in the middle of the park. Now his passing is unbelievable. He is the type of player you want in the middle of midfield because he will pick out any pass you want him to. His short passing is obviously very good, but it's his long and intricate passes that I'm more impressed with. He will pick out his teammates with long balls with no problem at all, and with such high accuracy that there will always be a way to find your wingers and strikers. He will weave the ball through gaps and will always put the right weight on his through balls. He makes it very easy to get your pacey forwards on a clean run when he's feeding them. His attacking movement is brilliant too. You'll notice him make the right attacking runs from midfield to give you another goal scoring option in the box, and he'll get himself into dangerous positions just outside the box as well. That said, his long shots I found were not that great. He will always get his long shots on target, but he does struggle to put them away a lot of the time. They're either not far enough in the corner or he's slightly underpowering them. It's either that or the goalkeepers that I came up against were incredibly overpowered and kept him out 99% of the time. I found that really weird though, given his shooting stats were so high. Put him in the box though and he'll bury everything from a load of different angles. He is a beast in front of goal within 18 yards and he can net those volleys as well. De Bruyne is also a pretty strong player too, despite his stats saying otherwise. It's not too easy to push him off the ball and he will hold his own in jostles while he has the ball under control. It's a really great trait to have as a midfielder, which helps him keep the ball and get it out to a player in space. That said though, he won't outmuscle stronger players and will definitely come off second best to players like Van Dijk. Another thing that he's good at is intercepting the ball from midfield. He's got this way of drifting into the path of the ball and is able to get in front of it ahead of opposition players and get you right back on the attack in no time. Now, something that I didn't like about De Bruyne was his pace. He's obviously not the fastest player and he definitely won't be winning you any races against fullbacks. Even though his pace was up to 80, he felt a lot slower than he should have. That might be down to the fact that he's a slightly bigger player that makes him look slower than he is, but whatever it is, he's definitely not a runner. The other thing holding De Bruyne back for me was his agility. He's not agile at all and will turn like a tank. Even though he can't make those small changes in direction, he has got this really controlled way of making wider turns. He'll still keep the ball under control and hold off defenders, so it's not a total loss. It is a shame though that he isn't that little bit more agile, which would just give him another boost to his ability. So overall, how am I rating De Bruyne in FC24? I rate him a decent 7 out of 10. Now that isn't too high a rating, and the reason for that is that he is very good, but he does lack in some areas. He has got the ability to change the game with his touch and his passing. He'll find just about any player in your team, whether that's on his first touch or short pass or a nice long through ball. His passing ability is fantastic and he'll definitely help your forwards get through on goal. He's not the strongest player, but he can still hold off the opposition and isn't very easily wrestled off the ball. He's composed enough as well to get the ball away under pressure. His finishing ability really brought down his overall rating for me. He gets into all the right places so often, but he can't finish all of his chances, which is a real shame. Plus, with him not being too agile, he's a little bit more difficult to maneuver, especially when you're playing against constant pressure. I would still recommend that you get him in your team if he's going to fit your chemistry and your style of play, because he will create a lot of chances for you. I don't think he's a player that's going to stay in your team for too long though, because we're going to start getting a lot more promo cards in the game and we're going to see some really unrealistic midfielders released, so he might not keep a place, but it's worth having him in your team for now. So let me know in the comments what you think and how De Bruyne is playing for you in your team. If you enjoyed this review, give this video a like and subscribe to my channel for more EAFC videos and player reviews. Thank you for watching and I'll see you on the next one.